Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Marilyn Darling Show, and welcome to another episode of an ink review. How is everyone doing today? Are you having a nice day? I hope you're having a nice day wherever you are in the world. Today we are looking at gray ink. This is from Wearingeul I Am a Cat. It is a shimmer ink. I'm looking very much forward to reviewing this ink. But before we start, let's share this with our friends so that they can come and hang out with us too. At this time, I would encourage you to share this with your friends so that they can also come and hang out with us too. Let's just share this with you guys so you see what I'm looking at. Oops. Copy. Okay, paste that. Share this to the LinkedIn and the Facebook and the Pinterest. I made a new section for the Pinterest and the ink review, so that's fun. Share it to the blog and the Twitter and the Reddit. Alright, we're all shared out. Oops, and you didn't even see what I was doing. I swear I pushed the display capture button. I don't know what happened. Oh well. Sometimes my button just doesn't work good. I don't know why. Might need to invest in a new mouse pretty soon, because this one's starting to tar it out on me, and I don't know why. It's brand new. The M510. I like it. It's nice and weighty. It doesn't like skip around on me. The button though. The button's being naughty. Anyway, today we're looking at Wearingeul I Am a Cat. Let's turn some lights on so we can see that beautiful gold shimmer. Look at that beautiful gold shimmer. Ooh, ah. This is one of those very high maintenance inks. I can tell you right now, I got it in a TWSBI swipe with the TWSBI, one of their fluke super broad nibs, I will call it, because it is just super broad. I had this broad nib in there, and this is also a broad, but you can clearly see that this broad is way broader than this broad. Anyway, but look at all that shimmer. You have to be very careful when you're using this amount of shimmer in a fountain pen, because it will clog your feed. So if you find that your feed is getting clogged, and you're railroading, or it just stops, then what you can do is you can either flood the feed, so you can push ink up into the feed by flooding the feed, and then bring it back down. So look up here. So you'll see that you can flood the feed, and then you bring it back down. You flood the feed and bring it back down. So you can kind of get the ink to travel in the opposite direction. You can get the shimmer to travel in the opposite direction, so that it goes into the barrel. And then what you can do is you can pull it all the way in, and then you can disconnect your cartridge converter, and then you can give this a gentle twist and a pull, And then you can run this under some water so that you can clean out those fins, and then you can just stick it back in. Make sure your tines are aligned, then stick your cartridge converter back on, and then make sure that your pen is well seated. Everything looks normal, and then you can give it a try. Hello neighbor, how are you doing today? Are you having a nice day? I've given Shimmer inks another try in recent days. Oh, nice. Yeah, it takes a very special pen. I highly recommend the Noodler's Conrad for the Shimmer inks because they're really easy to clean out. They're basically a tube, either that or a nib creeper. But the nib creeper has a smaller feed channel than the Conrad. Either that or the Fountain Pen Revolution Himalaya with the Ultraflex nib. And the feeds have like a triple wide feed channel. So it's just really big. So for normal inks, the plastic finned pens are good. But for like shimmer inks and inks that you think are going to clog your pen, definitely a wide channel is better. Yeah, Twisby's nice with the stub nib. I do find that if you don't do what I do, but I have noticed that some of the feeds are different numbered. And I think that even Twisby says that that if you have a broad nib, it comes with a broad channel feed. I don't know if that makes a difference if you put that in another pen. I haven't noticed this, but I'm told that that's what they do. They match the feed to the broad nib so that it has more flow. I don't know if that's actually possible or not, but anything is possible. Alright, here is our ink swatch. It looks like it didn't do a water resistance test, but I promise I did. And this has a lot of water resistance. I was surprised. So I might totally use this on the outside of an envelope. Here is our toilet paper chromatography. Again, we can see that permanence. And I see just the tiniest hint of blue tinge and teal around the edge. It's even got like a little bit of tan in there. I don't know if that's because of the shimmer. It almost looks like a rainbow. It's like got the tiniest hint of red and then yellow and then teal. But you really can't see it. Just right in the very corners of the toilet paper chromatography. So this is very interesting indeed. Okay. Let's do some paper review, shall we? Okay, this is the Penninger memo book from Walmart.com. Let's zoom in so we can see. Zoom out just a little bit. There we go. This one is Feathered Like a Chicken. Barely any bleeding and only a little bit of ghosting. This is Lightweight Traveler's Notebook Paper. Nice shading, no feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Super Lightweight Traveler's Notebook Paper. Little trouble grabbing the page. A little bit of ghosting. Moleskin 70 GSM. Feathered Like a Chicken. Bled to the page. It even soaked into the paper. It's not great. Field Notes Journal. A little bit of wiggle. A little bit of bleeding. A little bit of ghosting. Wearingeul I, 85 GSM. Can't really hardly see the shimmer, but most of these have shimmer. No feathering, no bleeding, and barely any ghosting. Pelican. A little bit of feathering. Hi, Obs. How are you doing today? Barely any ghosting. This happens every time. Okay. This is a Dan notebook. 80 GSM. There's a little bit of feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Oh, wait. Yeah, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. This is 68 GSM Tumbleway River. No feathering, no bleeding, and barely any ghosting. This is Midori MD paper. A little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, and barely any ghosting. This is Cult Pens, 120 GSM paper. Oi, feather like a chicken. Minimal amount of bleeding and ghosting. Cosmo Air Light, 75 GSM. A little bit of shading, no feathering, one little micro bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Eco Jot notebook paper. It's got a little bit of wiggle, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Hi, Wumba Bumblebee. How are you doing today? Okay, I don't know what to call this, so milky colored paper. This, I think it's from Daiso. I'm not 100% sure, but this looks like a Daiso product. There's no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. That's pretty good. Hi, Boots. How you doing? Are you having a nice day? This is Mormon Namaste 80 GSM dot grid. A little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. I love this ink. Yeah, it's really pretty, huh? Good, how are you? Doing well? Hi all. I love Shimmer inks in my TWSBI pens. Yes. Today we're using a TWSBI swipe. With like I changed out the nib because when I got my Go, I got a TWSBI Go that had like a super broad nib. And this nib is chunky. Chunky beast. And I put it in here so I could see it better. Because it had a broad nib in there, but it wasn't broad enough for me. So, alright, this is Office Depot Office Max. Feather like a chicken. Bled to the page. The Jot Journal from the Dollar Tree. It looks like it's feathering, but I can't tell if it's a feather or if it's my lifting of a pen. There's no bleeding, no ghosting. Alright, this is black and red. Black and red Oxford optic paper. A little bit of shading, a little bit of shimmer. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Oh no. No, that's right. No bleeding, no ghosting. Okay. Ooh, that's gonna fall. I'm gonna have a GDSOB moment. I apologize in advance. Saw string greens all over the world. Handel's company. It's got a little bit of feathering, just right there, just a little bit of feathering. And a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Ooh, it's gonna fall. Please don't do it to me, I'm too little. I need a bucket. I need a bucket. I need a bucket. Ooh. I just made it worse. I need one of them slimline buckets. Alright, Clairefontaine 90 GSM. Ooh, there's a little bit of feathering on there. A little bit of ghosting. Oh. Sorry, kiss me. Exceed 100 GSM heavyweight paper from Walmart.com. Feather like a chicken, bled to the page. Oi. This is Archer and Olive, 160 GSM notebook paper. This one even has a little bit of feathering, but no bleeding, no bleeding, no ghosting. Please don't fall. It's like slowly slipping. New Eco. Feather like a chicken. Bleeding and ghosting. Oi. Chancing and putting chance. Piling things up. Alright, Pen and Gear composition book from Walmart.com. Feather like a chicken. No bleeding, no ghosting, hardly. I'm going to show you guys what I'm looking at over here. I'm piling things upside down. So, at any minute, it's going to fall down, and then I'm going to be upset. Alright, this is colored drawing paper, smoky color. Alright. When do you get all your ink samples? I have tons of bottles, but no one to swap samples with. Where do you get all your ink samples? Well, I have a pen friend, her name is Kathy, and she sends me her leftovers. So she gets like the ink flight, and she buys bottles of ink, and then I buy her sample vials and some stickers and whatnot, and then she sends them to me. And I am also the ink master for our pen club, so I steal a whole bunch of inks from them. And then I bring them home, and then I test them, and then if there's more than 2 milliliters left, then I take those back to the ink club. But if there's not 2 milliliters left, then they go into an ink art project. Alright, here we go. This is our ink on colored drawing paper, smoky, whatever this one is. This one is the one from Daiso. You can tell it says Daiso. I should put that on here. I think the other one is from Daiso also, but I can't be sure. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is really good craft paper for being craft paper-like. Okay, this is Up and Up Wide-Rolled Composition Book from Target.com. A little bit of shading, a little bit of shimmer, no real feathering, a little bit of bleeding, a little bit of ghosting. Oh, it's gonna fall. Please don't fall. Alright, True Red notebook paper. True Red composition book from Staples.com. A little bit of shading, a little bit of feathering, a little bit of shimmer, a little bit of feathering, bleeding and ghosting. Feather like a chicken, blood to the page. Okay. This is Apica 81.4 GSM notebook paper. I had to bring the thing down. A little bit of shading, a little bit of shimmer. No real feathering, no bleeding, and barely any ghosting. Alright. Mead. This is 5-star notebook paper. Now that I'm looking at this, it doesn't say Mead on here. Oh, yes, it does. It says Mead at the bottom. At any rate, this is 5-star notebook paper. Feather like a chicken. A little bit of ghosting. Wow, that ghosted and bled far less than I thought it was going to. Because there's a lot of spread, and the feathering and the shimmer is going everywhere. Okay. This is a Yush 100 GSM paper, shimmer and shading. Where'd my light go? Ooh, shiny. Maybe too shiny. A little bit of shimmer, a little bit of shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is the Nanami 7Cs 68 GSM Tomoe River. Beautiful shimmer and shading, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. CVS Caliber notebook paper. Ooh, the shimmer's kind of going everywhere. Ooh, look at that. It's everywhere. No bleeding, no ghosting. Oxford notebook paper. A little bit of shading, a little bit of shimmer. No real feathering, no bleeding, and barely any ghosting. The Pen & Gear Heavyweight notebook paper from Walmart.com. A little bit of shading, a little bit of shimmer. No feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. HP Premium 32-pound copy paper. Don't notice my fat finger swipe right there. Beautiful shading, shimmer, no feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. This is the J&B Copper Plate Graph Pad from JohnNeilBooks.com. A little bit of shading, a little bit of shimmer, no real feathering, no real bleeding or ghosting. That's pretty good. Rhodey Adopt Pad 80 GSM. A little bit of shading, a little bit of shimmer. No real feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. Original Crown Mill 100 GSM paper. A little bit of shading, a little bit of shimmer. No real feathering, no bleeding, no ghosting. And just for snorts and giggles, as Mr. Wasky Squirrel says. This is original vintage mead. I think I went to talk about this the other day, and I forgot to. But one of my roommates gave me this ever-ready ledger size, I guess. This thing is massive. I mean, it's larger than my arm. So, it's really big. So, and this is vintage. Item number meadweb.com. It does have a .com on there. So this must be from, I don't know, maybe early 90s, late 90s, early 2000s. Because this paper is practically translucent. Like, you can see the lines underneath the page. Anyway. Alright, let's take a look at this vintage mead. Come on. Can I have some? It's not letting me have any. Alright, there we go. It's got a little bit of shading. It's got a little bit of shading. A little bit of shimmer. But there's minimal amount of feathering. Minimal amount of bleeding and ghosting. If we were to do this on today's mead, it would not be great. And I don't have any more mead, so we can't look at it. Thank God. If you are using a type of paper that you would like to see reviewed, you can send me some pennies to purchase said paper, or you can send me a sample to this address, and I will review it. Okie dokie. Legal pad, yes. Legal size. Pretty amazing old paper. Yeah, it's good stuff. Okay, let's do a comparison panel and see where this ink lies. I think it's a gray ink. So we're going to start in the gray department. And we're going to see how wrong I am. This ink is so shiny that I have no idea how I'm going to be able to see this properly without getting too much shimmer in the way. It's a very fine line between too much light and too much shimmer. So I'm going to try my best to keep everything situated. Alright, can everyone see? Alright, that seems about normal. Okay, so I'm gonna just pull out just one little tick there. Alright, this is Wearingeul I Am a Cat next to Diamond Gray. If you see an ink that you have on this side and you want to compare it to this side, you can pause by using the space bar, and then you can use the period to go one frame, or the comma to go 1 frame. And if you hold the period down, it'll go frame, 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 and the comma will go back, 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 frame by frame. So we are comparing it to diamine gray, diamine graphite. These are all too light of a gray. If I do that, is that better? Oh, that's slightly better. There. Organic Studio Jazz Hands. No. No. Okay, I thought this was a gray. It might actually be a green or a teal. My eyes are playing tricks on me. It did it to me again. Okay, here we go. Let's see. Sterling silver. Color is so strange. Okay, here we go. Color verse Under the Shade is kind of close. Vert Degree is getting there, but it's a little more darker. This one is way darker, but in the same color family. Again, darker. No. 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 And no. Okay, so I am clearly wrong when I thought that this was a gray ink. I want to look in the green department because I know that I have like one ink in here that resembles this. Okay, Wearingeul, Withering Heights is kind of close. This looks like Withering Heights, but maybe one shade darker, and the shimmer is different. This has like a greenish gold shimmer, and this one has like very bright gold. Alright, here we go. Troublemaker Petrichor is kind of close. So this is definitely kind of a greenish ink. Hera is a little darker. I thought it might be close to Alpha Uma, but Uma's a little more green. I thought it might be close to these ones. Mermaid Green is a little light. Alpha PSC is a little green. Basil is a little yellow. Susan Molechan is too light. Walk the Dog is yellow. Oh, now we're getting into a funny department. We're off in the weeds now. Yeah, I thought it might be close to those ones, but slightly off. Alright, here we go. Diatramentus Document Green is a little more green. Sea Glass is a little lighter. There's the one that I was thinking of. This is Kyono Oto Urahero. And I was thinking that this might be a close one, but this one's a little more lighter than that one. Alpha Colorist Alpha Caprese is kind of close. I think they were trying to do the same thing with having the multitude of the shimmer with the greenish product. And even this one is way off. So, that is a chunk of green, let me tell you. I'm going to need a new bucket. Peek in the teal department, because, I mean, thinking of another one now, and now I'm like, this totally looks like, here we go. This looks like kind of, I thought it might be like Sydney Darling Harbor, but Sydney Darling Harbor is a little more teal than this. Hmm. 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 Shito is too blue, but still getting kind of close. And that's it. So, well, this is a very interesting ink indeed. Very interesting indeed. What did you guys think about today's review? Do you have this ink? Are you thinking thoughts about getting this ink? Let me know what your thoughts are on this ink in the comment section below. It looks a bit yellowish on the edges. Yeah, it's really interesting. It's got like, it's definitely like a greenish gray color to my eye. But it clearly isn't a gray when you look at the colors side by side. It's totally a greenish gray, which I was not expecting at all. That shimmer threw me off. It's very interesting. Well, that is all I've got for you today. It might have to find its way in my cart. Well, let's see. Do we have much in here? It's less than a milliliter. That's good, Phil. I pretty much use only one use of a pen unless somebody writes me a letter, and then I write the letter with it, and then at the end of the week on Friday I wash them all out and put the inks in the pen club inks, and then they get shared with the people at the pen club. Unless somebody wants them, and then if you wish to pay me for shipping, I will send you pretty much whatever you want. Alright, well, ladies and gentlemen, that is all I've got for today. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope that you guys enjoyed this one. I hope that you learned something. Please share this video with your friends. Follow me on social media. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the little bell. Make sure it's set to all so when I upload new content, YouTube notifies you. Don't forget to check the links out in the description to Atlas Stationers and Pen Boutique. They both have 10% off discount codes, so go check them out. And I will be back very soon with another video. So, take care until then. Okay, love you, bye. Have a great day.